to another episode of Babcia and Yia Yia Travel the World. It's a place where we like to spend some time talking about all things travel and how travel can be part of your lifestyle, whether you're hanging out at home or you've got boarding passes in your hands. Travel influences us every single day. We're so glad to have you here. My name is Alex. I play the Babcia role in all of this. I'm a teacher, a traveler, a blogger. You'll find me over at tgctravel.com. And an overall travel junkie. Meet my best friend, Terri.
Hi, guys. I'm Terri. I play the role of Yia Yia. I'm a mom, a teacher, and right now I'm a U.S. traveler. So today we're going to talk about what we think airlines need to do better and share some of the things that keep us travel happy when we are not out and about. We're going to talk books, food, travel tips, and products that we love. And it all starts with a little segment we like to call Now Boarding.
So in today's Now Boarding section, we're talking about the things that airlines kind of provide us or that help us with airlines or that make that time in the actual metal cylinder in the sky better. So we're talking about global book picks to start with. And I have to say, I'm not great at reading and concentrating on a plane. Like, I'm really uncomfortable. So I break out my travel guides as reading material for my destination. And I always leave that chapter, like the basics about the chapter. Rick Steves always has it in the back. It's like the culture stuff. And I can read a paragraph and put it down and, read a couple of pages, put it down, because I'm so uncomfortable on a plane anyway. So that's my global book pick.
Now, for me, when I go and I'm going to fly somewhere, I stop at the local gift shop that they have in the mall, and I just go ahead and I plan on splurging on myself, and I buy a magazine. I normally don't buy magazines, but I do. I get one of those nice, pretty, glossy magazines at the airport stand, and I just sit back and read some mindless, maybe, information as I'm traveling.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of the key to success in this. The majority of people are not interested in focusing in on something academic or, like trying to grow their brain in any way. They are just trying to get through a flight,
Right.
So here's my big travel tip this week. Terri, this is controversial. Are you ready? Because I'm gonna go against every other travel blogger, influencer, creator out there. I say, in order to make your trip better, check your bag.
Amen.
Dun dun dun.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't get it. I don't get the word that I use for it is the suitcase schlep through TSA to the gate. That's inevitably the last gate on that wing of the airport. And I just don't get being sweaty and then sitting down next to a stranger for that amount of time. And while COVID helps out with a lot of things and sanitizing and all of that kind of stuff, I don't get it. I'm so over it.
I don't understand even pre-COVID. Let's say you're going on a vacation. You're starting off your vacation. Why do you want to drag your luggage on the plane and try to get it stored?
And, here's the thing. Your suitcase is going to get lost if you're on a packed flight. So you schlep your bag down there thinking, I'm not going to lose my suitcase because I'm not checking it and this is a packed flight. And here's what I have to say. They're going to make you gate check your bag anyway. And while you may not have to pay the fee, you're sweaty. And I don't want to sit next to you, sweaty person. I don't.
No. So that's going to bring me to our travel tip. My travel tip. Sanitize your little area. And I say this even pre-COVID.
Yes.
Okay? Sanitize. Think about that seatbelt. everyone touches it. It's down
Mhm.
there in their crotch area.
Aw, yes.
Yes. Clean it, seatbelt latch, clean your armrest, clean your tray latch. What I like to do is I have these little great individual sanitizers, and I am ashamed of myself for not having the name of them. But
Mhm,
they also have essential oils, so they could be in a grapefruit, smell, or lavender, or
mhm,
peppermint. It's
mhm.
great.
And, the travel size of, like, the Clorox wipes, if you are somebody who has, like, the passport wallet, the RFID passport wallet,
Mhm.
those fit in there, like, kinda perfectly. They
Yeah.
pretty much match up. Okay, so we're talking about making yourself comfortable on an airline. We've checked our bag, we've sanitized, we've got something to read. Here's the other thing that I really, really suggest. Get one of those rechargeable battery packs where you can plug in your iPhone and recharge it, and get a good one. Don't buy one at the CVS and the Walgreens right at the counter that's a cute color.
Right.
Hear me now, people, those last like twice. Get the good one that's gonna recharge your phone like 3 times before it's dead. Get the good one.
Yes. Now, my thing to our product to keep us comfy is a foot sling. You know,
Mhm.
it hooks on your tray, it keeps your feet elevated, which keeps my feet from looking like little pig sausages,
Mhm.
you know,
Yeah,
and you're
yeah.
it's good for your circulation.
Mhm. It is, and I have to say the foot sling gives me comfort. Like, just another level of comfort because it is so uncomfortable in those seats. It's so I just don't understand who designed those. They're so uncomfortable. I don't get
Lucifer.
it. Yes, thank you, the devil incarnate did. Okay, travel binge. I found this couple on YouTube called Kara and Nate, and you can just search them on YouTube, Kara and Nate. And they made a goal of visiting 100 countries in a very specific amount of time, and they kind of filmed the whole thing. I have to tell you, they're adorable. I believe they're from Nashville, if I'm not mistaken. And they met their goal. And it's so cute because when you see them in their 100th country, that very same day, they got their millionth viewer.
Oh,
Millionth subscriber. And I just it was like, wow, how perfect could that have worked out? Anyway, they go all over the world and they kinda give you that first timers feel to so much, like that kind of wonder that you
mhm.
hope for. And so very inspirational. I really like them, and they do a lot on the airplane itself. So very cute. I really did like them.
Okay. Well, what I like to do for traveling is, you always have those movies or you're not really quite sure of. I kind of put those in the back of my mind, save those away. So when I'm on an international flight, that's the time
Mhm.
I choose to watch.
And those new movies are on international flights, far
Yeah.
more than people realize. So I do not spend my money on that ticket because it's gonna be free for me in a few weeks. So
Right.
I agree with you on that. Okay, let's talk airlines and travel food for a minute.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So there's a very big health controversy, like if it's better, over having caffeine or alcohol when flying. And I have to say this. I have to say this. I'm telling you now, people, I'm spending the $5 on the small cup with too much ice for my Bacardi and Diet Coke. I'm having caffeine and I'm having alcohol. I'm okay with it. I'm right with God. It doesn't bother me. I don't think it affects my jet lag. I'm already uncomfortable, and that drink is going to calm me down. So I am going to drink it. Like, I am over it. And so I know some people say it really affects them. I don't find that that's true. And especially if I get a free upgrade, you better believe I'm drinking that mimosa.
Well, and also, it could be the quantity that people drink
Mhm.
that we're talking about. And you know me, I'm not a big drinker. I don't
No.
really drink alcohol. We've had this debate for years.
Mhm.
So, I'm all for the caffeine if you need it, the alcohol, you do you, boo, you know, that's
Mhm.
you. I don't. But now,
Mhm.
I wanna talk about the snacks because that's what's important to
It
me.
is. It is.
If anybody has flown recently, it sucks with the snacks. You go on and you get like a brown paper bag like you're going to school. You have a
Mhm.
bottle of water. If you're lucky, you may have a pack of cookies and some nuts or maybe just some Pringles. I don't know. But what I like to do, I like to bring my snacks.
Mhm.
I will eat what they give me on the plane, okay? I'm not gonna not eat my meal option, but I
Right.
do like to bring my own snacks for me
Mhm.
that I like. Always you wanna experience everything on that airline flight, and if God knows you paid for that meal, so you eat it.
Yeah.
Eat it.
Yeah,
And
don't waste.
nowadays, you can see on your little flyer, you have other options that you can purchase while on
Mhm.
the flight. So that's a good thing that flights have done. But right now, I'm over the nuts and pretzels. Okay.
I want my Twizzlers.
Yes.
Yeah, and I have to say when you're flying internationally, I really, really recommend going to that airline's website because if you look at the onboard experiences, a lot of times you can go in and attach a specific meal to um to your seat.
Yeah.
And there are a lot more choices than people think. Like, there's 2 main choices. There's usually, like, a chicken and a pasta choice. However, there are kosher choices, there are, vegan choices, like, there's a lot of choices, and if you're flying an international airline, there's probably better ethnic choices, and you can go in and see what's there, and I highly recommend, especially, please hear me, if you are on an Asian airline, get the Asian food. They do a really good job, and you will enjoy your meal far more than you think.
I
So,
agree.
yeah, we actually put in our, show notes today a link to the 10 best airlines, food. So you can kinda check out all of those things down there. So, here's my travel tech tip this week. I learned this from Samantha Brown, who is a travel guru out there. She's been on TV for years. I saw her talk, and she was telling the story about how when she was going to Switzerland with her production crew, they literally lost every piece of luggage they had. And of course, they had all their production equipment too. So this was her tip because they found it like right away. They fixed the problem right away. She said, follow your airline on Twitter. Here's why there's direct message on Twitter, and you'll probably get through far quicker on Twitter than you would trying to call them directly. So you get somebody who's dedicated to your Twitter instant message, and she took a picture of every tag and she sent it via Twitter to the customer service. They found it in less than 5 minutes. And like the
Wow.
situation was taken care of right away. And we're talking like 50 pieces of luggage that were put on the wrong plane. And they had fixed the problem immediately and there were no delays for them. And I thought I never even thought about Twitter in that because Twitter's getting a little passé these days.
Mhm.
And you know it's true. So I did follow American Airlines when I was coming back last year. I was flying through Philadelphia and I came back on the 4th of July, which unfortunately for me, and I didn't even think about it at the time, had my flight to Washington, D.C. delayed because of the fireworks and over the mall. And so I wound up being able to track my bag overnight using the airline app and the luggage tag picture that I had and Twitter. And my luggage was not lost overnight. So I do have to say, I do think that that is probably one of the best tech ideas I've ever heard. Thank you, Samantha Brown.
Yes. Well, my travel tech is whatever you want to do, make sure that you download some type of entertainment, like a podcast, maybe.
Yay!
Download it. Yes. Download it so you'll have it when you're flying to listen to. Don't try to wait at the last minute and try to get it done. Get all of that prepared before you head out.
Yes, and that way you can relax. I like the podcasts on a plane because you can close your eyes and just kind of listen in,
Mm.
and you can kinda get a little bit more relaxed, I think. So that's my thing. So download our podcast. Enjoy a
Yay!
couple of episodes. Yay! So today, Terry, we're talking about the 10 things that airlines can do better. And I have to say before we start, I don't want airlines to think that we don't get how much that they've worked during this COVID pandemic. I happen to think that planes are far cleaner than they've ever been.
Amen.
And yes, and I do think that they're doing their best to get us from here to there with all of these restrictions in place. I do have to say that. So we'll start out with that. But this has been a list long coming. These are things that are that fall under kind of the ridiculous. Like, that's something we can fix. Let's go. Let's fix
Right.
it.
And these are
Those kind of things.
pre-COVID. And these are pre-COVID.
A
We
lot of
didn't
these
just
are pre-COVID. Yes. Yeah. Okay. So here we go. Number 10. What's up with the bathroom?
it's too damn small.
My word, if they shrink down the bathroom another size, it's not going to be one size fits all. It's
I
ridiculous.
I ref I mean, it has to be a national emergency for me to use the bathroom on the airplane.
Yeah, or a really long flight. Yeah.
Really long flight. I make sure I use the airport facilities. If it's a short flight, I will I mean, I can't. It's like you're going into a coffin.
It is, and we've discussed this in our plus size episode. This is probably not the easiest place to be on a plane for someone who is not a size 4, and I think it's kinda crappy of them. No pun
Thank you.
intended.
Yep.
Okay.
And you now on the, US flights that I've been taking,
Mhm.
they seem to have decreased their number of bathrooms.
Yes.
So now you have one in the front, and there forms a big line. Hopefully, that Chipotle burrito didn't bother you that you had at the airport while waiting,
Uh-huh.
you know?
Yeah, and they don't want you to form a line, and it's kind of like, "Well, then give us another bathroom." Like, how hard is this? Yeah, so they need to come up with a better bathroom plan. I mean, we teachers can do it at school. They can do it on an airplane.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yes, yes.
Come up with something better, people. Okay, number 8.
9. We
Oh,
skipped
9. 9.
9.
You're right, 9. 9. It is time, dear airlines, to start guaranteeing luggage. And here,
Amen.
no
Woo!
joke, right? Like, it is time for there is far too much technology in this world for lost luggage. If Amazon can get me my package in 24 hours without even thinking about it, don't tell me an airline can't get my suitcase on the same plane I'm on.
I
I
think
I
they need to put Chick-fil-A in charge.
I think they should because apparently they know how to make your delivery and your orders show up. I
Yep.
agree. Yeah. And you know what? If you're gonna charge me fee after fee for all of that, I feel like I should be able to hold you accountable. Like, if you lose my luggage, not only should I get my fee back, but then you should reimburse me for the inconvenience of that.
Yes.
Because we're certainly reimbursing airlines for their inconvenience of being customer service to us. So I do have a problem with that. It's time to guarantee luggage.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Ready?
Ready.
Number Now I'm ready for number 8.
Yes.
Normalize gate checking bags.
Here we go.
Okay, this is for all my peeps that are carry-on people, and I am not. Okay? I really truly feel that there are so many people trying to avoid those fees that they drag their bags to the gate, and then the airlines wait like 2 minutes before boarding to announce that everyone's bags aren't going to fit. And they make them, they're like, who wants to be the volunteer? You have to volunteer your bag as tribute. And it's ridiculous. It is so ridiculous. Like, if I want to pull that bag onto the plane, fine. If there's no room, get the slide ready. We all know the slide because the kids find the slide every time, the luggage slide. I don't know how many people, maybe not everybody knows about the luggage slide. There's a spiral slide attached to your ramp for your gate, and it's got a spiral slide on it to send strollers and all that stuff that you gate check to the bottom of the plane. Get the slide ready. Let's go. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm ready. I'm ready now.
And you know what else I need to say about this is that, when you check in
Mhm.
and they have the little compartment for you to check to make sure your luggage or your carry-on is the appropriate size to
Mhm.
fit in the overhead compartment. I
Mhm.
am telling you, as God is my witness, there are people dragging their luggage on that don't even come near to fitting. Why are we not stopping them, and instead of letting them bang it down the aisle, then try to
Mhm.
shove it up in the overhead? And God forbid you may have put your purse in the overhead, because
Oh
that's
my
going to
God,
be,
it's done.
I mean, of course, what about the family? You have the
Yeah.
family going to Disney World, and here comes the kids with all this luggage last minute trying to shove their luggage somewhere. I'm
Mhm.
over this. I'm over it.
Yeah, yeah, they need to come up with a better thing. If they're gonna do that, I'm kinda over it. Okay, number 7. If Disney can make a fast pass to get on the Star Wars ride, there needs to be a fast pass for boarding procedures. Okay? The Millennium Falcon flies too, is how I feel.
Mhm.
So I just say, get me through my fast pass. I'm going to tell you that I'm checking my bag. I want it checked. I want to be able to print everything out at home and go directly to that TSA line. They're checking my ID anyway. Like, I don't get why I have to go to 3 different places. It's
Oh,
crazy.
I agree. And then are you ever there at the gate? You're there at the gate when they're going, we're now going to start
Mhm.
pre-boarding.
Yeah.
Everybody and their mother lines up. I
Mhm.
want to know that I need to be at the gate at 2:27. That's when my group is boarding.
Exactly.
I'll be
Otherwise,
there.
yes, otherwise you'll find me buying my glossy magazine.
Right.
Yeah.
Because now you find people feel that they have to get on because they're not going to have any space to put all their damn luggage.
For the overhead compartments, I agree. I agree. Okay, let's continue. This is 9, 8, 7, 6. Ready?
Wait, 10, 9, 8. Yeah, okay.
Find your spot.
We're on the next one, guys.
Okay, here we go. Get rid of the center seat once and for all. I am
Please.
being serious. I don't know who came up with banks of 3. Get rid of it. I know that I don't have to say anything more than this, but my word, it is ridiculous. I'd rather be on the smaller plane when it's only 2 seats, aisle and window. I don't want to be on the bigger plane with the 3 seats.
And
I
my
don't.
feeling when I see that they've given me the center seat, it's
No.
almost like I'm just not going to go.
It,
It's not
it's
worth
like
it.
It's like being chosen last for dodgeball.
And then you're
It's
sausaged in there
oh my gosh.
with the sweaty people who drug their luggage on.
This is what I'm saying. Unbelievable. I don't know who thought of that. All right. Speaking of seats,
Yes.
I I am so sick and tired of getting the window seat. And this is what there's this huge gap that I want to put my head in. and I can't because there's nothing there to fill the gap between the window and the seat. And we all know, we've all done it. We shove our purse. We shove the little blanket they give us, the miniature
Mhm.
pillow that is apparently for a very small spider monkey, that pillow. Okay.
Yes.
Um, they they we use everything, right? We're like filling that whole
Right.
gap. Seriously, nobody can invent something to go in that spot? Nobody? I don't need that stupid neck pillow if you can fill that.
Yeah, that we have to lug around.
Yes. I don't like the neck pillows either.
No.
Okay. Now, I have another question for you when it comes to seating, because this is a big one for me. Okay.
Mhm.
When it comes to
Mhm.
seating, have you ever sat in front of a child?
Yes.
Worst experience ever.
Now listen. Okay. Let me start by saying I love children. I am a teacher. However, comma, I teach them all day. So if I'm going somewhere on vacation, don't get offended if I don't want to sit near children. Because what do? That tray table goes up and down, wham in your seat. They're kicking
Mhm,
your seat. They won't
mhm.
shut up.
No, they don't. They don't. So, not only do I think that there needs to be a family section of seating, put all the little children together. I think it's a great idea, okay? But
Now,
I also think that there should be family seating. And there's no rule that says all seats must face forward.
okay,
That's not an FAA rule, okay? Because if you look at charter planes, a lot of seats face backwards, right?
okay,
Okay,
yeah.
so there's no rule. Put the 2 banks together and let them have a little pop-up table so they can play Uno, right? And put them all together so that they're not kicking the back of my seat because I am a teacher on vacation.
Now, I will say I understand that sometimes it happens. It can't be avoided. I've had a friend that had small children, and she makes little goodie bags for the people that are going to be sitting around her to go ahead and say, I'm so sorry if my child bothers you during this flight. I hope this, take this in for my apologies. So at least acknowledge what your children are doing.
Yeah, that's scary to me, though. I don't know that if I would love that thoughtfulness or I would be scared about the couple of hours to come.
I know it could be one or the other.
I don't know what's good. Okay, so there is a solution to the family seating, the gap, the center seat, the gate checking luggage, all the overhead compartment nonsense, and it's those new lay down economy seats. Have you seen these?
Oh, yeah. Yes. We're
They're
making bunk beds.
amazing.
We're making bunk beds.
They're like bunk bed seats is the best way to explain them. They're amazing. I want them. I will be a tester company who came up with those. So apparently it fills the same amount of space as the classic banks of seats that we see now.
Mhm.
But the way they're set up, it gets rid of the overhead compartents. And
What are
there is
people gonna do with their luggage?
they're going to check it and it's going to be great. Okay. And so it gets rid of that, but it does give you a little space to put a bag. Like you'll still have room for a little bag, but it lets you kind of like put your feet up. And if you have a little baby, you would kind of be on your own with that little baby. And it doesn't give you a seat partner. Take
I'm
that in
okay with
for a
that.
minute.
Love it.
I mean, like everything. Like it to me, I don't know who came up with those, company who came up with those, I think you're great. Those are the most amazing seats ever, and they're for economy. They weren't like business plus class or something like that. They were meant for economy. They're meant for planes that are either 2 by 2 or 2 by 4 by 2, which are the international long-haul flights. Hello, airlines, buy them. They're
Good
FAA
for you.
approved.
Listen, call us, send us an email. We will test them out for you.
And we will make great videos that will let everyone know how amazing you are and that you are a wizard in the airline world. I'm on the top bunk. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, can we talk, cuz I noticed we haven't mentioned a lot about seats.
Mm.
Since this falls into this category.
Yes.
Now, as I've been flying and I'm getting older,
Mhm.
I feel like the seats are getting smaller.
It's not your imagination.
We want to be comfortable. I don't want to be crippled when I get off a plane.
Mhm.
What happened?
Well, there is no um governing body over the size of seats. And as a matter of fact, it's so funny that you bring up this question because I just saw on, I want to say it was BBC Travel, which is a great show if you haven't watched it. Um, BBC Travel was talking about the fact that the federal governments in many countries, including the United States and Great Britain, are looking at setting some FAA standards for seat size in terms of accessibility. And that also included age, which I thought was very interesting. They're like, you just can't keep cramming people into smaller and smaller places. Like
No,
it's not okay. And so they're actually talking about creating some federal standards for that.
that would
So
be great.
yeah, I do think that they need to do it because I believe the standard FAA seat is now 22 inches across. And Terri, I am not 22 inches across
Everybody needs to go listen to our plus size podcast.
to understand that.
Yes. That's all I'm
Yeah, yeah,
saying. Bring back the bigger seats.
yeah. Okay, so we've talked about bags, we've talked about seats. Now, the next thing that I have an issue with, this is number 9 on our list. The
Mhm.
next thing that I have an issue with is waiting because thanks
Oh,
to Southwest Airlines, we are now traveling human cattle.
yes.
And it stinks. The gate areas are not comfortable. The seats in the plane are not comfortable. I talk a lot about seats. I realize that. But it's not comfortable and people need to start rethinking about how spaces are being used in airports. And I do think that that is a big issue. So I they need to think of their gate areas and start showing that there are better choices out there. And a lot of new airports are doing this to help airlines. I know we talk about the Palm Beach International Airport a lot because it is adorable that they have like a mini putt-putt course there, and, there are a lot of great things coming out of newer, airports, and I will say that probably the one that we hear about the most is Shanghai in Singapore with the
Y
butterfly garden and the movie theater, and, like, you can go and have a vacation at the airport there. So it's kind of amazing. So it is very interesting to see, that older airports need to start taking notes about what's going on from those newer airports, for
I
sure.
agree. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So, here's the thing. We really understand that everything that we've talked about today costs a lot of money, and this is number 10. We know that all these brilliant ideas cost money, and we really recognize that. So, if you're gonna charge me for my seat, my bag, my drink, um my time in the terminal, my early check-in, the premium stuff, and my overcharged mocha latte in the terminal, there are no excuses here.
Oh, I agree. Because
It's
then
time for yeah.
I mean, you think about it. If you fly Southwest, I myself always pay to be in the first boarding group because I
Mhm,
don't wanna be in a cattle call trying to find a seat.
mhm.
And everything you buy in the newsstand, everything is overpriced. Your snacks, your drinks. Come on, we're not at Disney World.
Exactly. And if you want me to pay Disney prices, I will be happy to do that if you give me a Disney experience.
Amen.
So it's time for airlines and people who invest in airlines to realize that they have to reinvest. They have to. So we know today that we have kind of stripped back the glamour of flying, and we know that maybe airlines wouldn't be too happy with everything we're saying today. But this has been a long time coming, and it has been a downhill spiral for over 2 decades, and it's time to bring the glamour back into the idea of air travel. It used to be the fanciest thing out there, and now it's the silliest schlep out there. It's time.
You know, the travel industry has taken quite a blow from several global issues, including the war in Ukraine, the climb out of the COVID-19 crisis, and inflation that makes it hard for people to get out into the world like they want to. At this point, leading experts are predicting that it's going to take up to 3 years for the travel industry to bounce back to full force. One way that you can help the travel industry is to like and subscribe to 10 microbloggers. Each time you do, you're telling all those travel industry experts that you are ready to enjoy everything that the world has to offer, and you can start with us.
That's right. You can find us on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, and even LinkedIn at Babcia and Yia Yia. That is Babcia and YIA. We'd love to hear from you. Contact us at babciandyaya@gmail.com with your questions, suggestions, favorite travel tips, products, and travel trends so that we can share your ideas in the future.
Babcia and Yia Yia is our home base for everything we love about travel. It's where our blog and show notes live and where we share access to all of our resources, including travel literacy for kids. We always have new posts about all the things we love about travel, including today's topics, as well as featured destinations, travel lifestyle, and stories to make you smile.
Didn't get all of that? No worries. Just check out our show notes for all of the ways to stay in touch and links to anything we chatted about in this episode. As always, thanks for joining us for our journey.